Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Takes Show. What's going on, everybody? This your boy KCVL King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Here to give you my honest take about both WWE Fastlane 2023 and tonight's edition of AEWCollision. I called it Trashlane for a reason. This was one of the worst PLEs that Triple H and Vince could ever put on. And I'm sorry for you Cody and Jay heads and you Seth Rollins heads and you Io Sky heads and you Fruity Pebble heads and you LA Knight heads and whatever else happened on the show. Listen. This is what happens when you put together a generic pay-per-view. The show is generic. It felt tremendously boring watching. The only food that decided to pull up tonight was Pat McAfee, and that's because they was in Indiana. We got no Randy Orton tonight. We got no Drew McIntyre turning. The Judgment Day is all over the place, and they had Jade Cargill pull up backstage before the show even came on, and she pretty much had nothing on. You got WWE hardcore fans going completely ape. They going nuts. All I'm going to say is I'm just going to watch. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see exactly how they present it. Because we already know how the script is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to tell you exactly how the game worked. Fastlane was trash. This show, listen, the main event was probably the most decent match out the whole show. And even that match was somewhat, it was just decent. It wasn't great. I know a lot of people was online raving about it. Talking, oh man, this is the match of the year. And no. This pay-per-view was trash. It was trash, and we are going to destroy everything on this show. I'm serious. We are going to rip it apart, rip it to shreds, and if fools get mad at me, so be it. I don't give a rat's behind. Like I said, man, I honestly watch these shows and I do my best to be as unbiased as I possibly can. But when you see filth, you have to call the foolishness out. I'm not finna sit up here and say, "Oh man, Fastlane was off the chain." No. Now the crowd, Indiana was fantastic. That was maybe the best part of the whole show. Indiana did a great job. Kudos to the cats who pulled up. Even the cats who sometimes podcasts I go on, Jim and me, Cleveland me. It was Joe and Tampa Tons. They was the two that went. But like I said, the crowd, decent crowd, whatever. But Fastlane altogether, man. Psh, let's break down this trash show. So right off the jump, we got Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeating Judgment Day. That means Damian Priest and Finn Balor are no longer undisputed tag team champs. Now, a lot of people say, well, isn't that the whole point? Isn't this one step of Cody Rhodes getting closer to finishing the story? Ladies and gentlemen, they didn't need these tag team titles. This pretty much tells me that they have nothing else going on for Cody Rhodes. Nothing. And you pretty much broke Jey Uso from his brother to put him in a goofy tag team with Cody Rhodes so that you can put the tag team titles on this man because he quote unquote couldn't finish his story. So this is a constellation prize for Cody. This is pretty much what that was. And JD Madonna pretty much screwed over Damian Priest and them. And because of that, he whacked him in his knee with his briefcase. So he wasn't able to cash in tonight. Therefore, they lost the titles. Now, you know me, I can't stand Judgment Day, but I really much wanted them to retain because I said there's only one tag team that should be dethroning them, and that's Do It Yourself. That's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Those are the two that should be next in line. But they just screwed up plans again because that's all WWE knows how to do. They just screw up plans left and right, screwing up plans over here, screwing up plans down the street. It's a joke. It's a flat out joke. Sorry about that. It's a flat out joke. Like I said, the match, it was okay. It was decent. But, I mean, the wrong team won. This whole foolishness with these two winning the tag team title, it's going nowhere. It's going absolutely nowhere. So guess what? Now that they won the tag team titles, guess who's going to be gunning for the tag team titles? Oh, that's right. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's a joke. It's a complete joke. It's a joke. What a joke. They won. Great. Now we get to, and guess what? You thought they was going to have this show without somebody on here buck dancing. They had Wade Barrett, Booker T, and then Xavier Woods coming out of nowhere, shucking and jiving over some doggone Pizza Hut. Listen, let me tell you something. Pizza Hut ain't what it used to be, ladies and gentlemen. But you had them up here shucky ducky quacking and talk about Pizza Hut. You know the little dumb man dance that Xavier Woods always do all day. Listen, right on schedule. And y'all fools are happy for Jade Cargill coming to this company when you got Booker T shucking and jiving behind, Xavier Woods shucking and jiving behind, and they got Wade Barrett up here acting a fool about some doggone Pizza Hut. What a joke. I told you, it's just one joke after another, just down the hill. Then we get here. I told you who was winning here, and the way how they did this whole matchup. Now, you would have thought Carlito would have came out right from the jump. Man, they had this, it was a handicap match. It was Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford versus Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. And everybody was like, okay, so where's their partner? Carlito didn't come out to the very end of the match. And unfortunately, they changed his music. This new music he has is generic as heck and it sounds lame. It sounds terrible. What the clown was these idiots in WWE thinking? Who came up with that foolishness? What happened to I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool? That's what I was waiting to hear. And they said, no, we coming up with this new lame crap. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with Ray and them going over, because I told you they was going over, Bobby Lashley didn't pin Rey Mysterio just for them to lose again at the pay-per-view. This was basically for Triple H and them to say, hey, look, guys, they went on TV. They're meaning something. No. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are absolutely jokes, and they will forever be jokes. Don't give a crap what nobody got to say. You can be mad at me all you want. Like I said, when we come over into this company, they present us like jokes, and we will forever be jokes. Like I say, I'm glad Carlito and them pulled up. I wanted him to pull up, and I knew they was going over. Like I said, it was no surprise to me, none whatsoever. But the music he got, they need to change that bullshit. They need to change it. Go back to his original theme song, because that whatever they was playing was trash. They win. Great. Now, we get to, Xavier Woods bought out the pizza for them, sitting out there talking about Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Whatever. Then we get here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be 100% with you. The triple threat at SummerSlam was 100% better than this film. I don't know what it is, man, but it just seems like Charlotte picks and chooses when she wants to show up. And Asuka and Io, I just don't know, man. It was like the whole match was all over the place. For the women's WWE Women's Championship, the match was all over the place. I mean, I was looking at it and I wasn't looking. And Bayley came out of nowhere. Bayley pretty much helped Io retain. Asuka had the match. I mean, Charlotte had the match won because Bayley was distracting the referee. She was tapping out. Charlotte had Asuka tapping out. And then Io used Bayley's distraction to jump on top of Charlotte to retain the championship. Now here, I'm glad I got the right woman winning. I had her retain the championship, but the matchup, it was bad. Now listen, the girls got time. I'm glad that the women are getting enough time, but still, man, it was bad. This was a terrible match. Like I said, man, all three of these women are somewhat. Well, let me tell you something. Io is great. Asuka's great. And when Charlotte wants to be great, she can be great. But it's just the three of them together, it just didn't match. It didn't match at all, man. It was just them just out there trying to do a little something, and it just didn't come off great. Now, if you liked it, that's your prerogative. But me, I saw this mess. I said, I'm glad it's over. So, now we get this matchup. LA Knight, Fruity Pebbles versus the Bloodline, or the fake Bloodline, because Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa acting like they don't really want to tag team. John Cena, LA Knight. Let me tell you something, man. Fruity Pebbles was pretty much getting jumped the whole match, taking like 5,000 years to finally tag LA Knight in, and when he finally got LA Knight in, that's pretty much where the match ended. Fruity Pebbles and LA Knight got the victory. They won. Honestly, I didn't really care nothing about this match at all. I did. Like, the crowd was into it. They were invested. They were screaming LA Knight's name. LA Knight is getting the rub. Fantastic. That's great. But, I mean, just sitting here watching the stuff, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, I was like, wow. I said, what the clown am I watching? I said, you couldn't just say this food is just for SmackDown and call it a day. Nope. They had to put it on here. They had to. So, that's that. So, then we got Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and the rest of Judgment Day. And Damian Priest is getting his knee checked out because of what happened earlier with JD McDonough whacking him in his knee because he tried to, jump off the table, but he ran into his knee and hit him in his leg with the doggone briefcase, so messed him up. So he was pretty much not cleared to go. And he was talking about, I'm still going to try to cash in. And they said, and Rhea told him, no, you're not going to cash in. So that was that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. We are getting up there. The fact that there was a young man that was sitting ringside, and I'm like, who is this dude? And he's talking about, that's Declan McMahon. That's Shane McMahon's son, who goes to the Indiana Hoosiers College. Yes, that's right. Shane McMahon's son is in college. The boy is 20 years old. I said, where has the time gone? The boy is 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I said, man, we getting up there, y'all. I got 20. He had a doggone Indiana Hoosiers WWE Championship or whatever. I was like, you know what? Hey, good to see him, man. Like I said, out of all the McMahons, Shane is the only McMahon I actually care about. But yeah, that's that. So, Brawlin' Brute said, did a little ad or whatever. So then we get to the main event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting Nakamura to get his moment. I've been wanting to see Nakamura eventually finally win a big championship in WWE. Out of all the matches on this show, I think this was probably the best match on the show, even with it just being barely decent. Obviously, these two were just beating the snot out of each other. Cats going through tables, cats getting whacked in the back with chairs. They pulling up the doggone mat thing on the floor where you see the doggone concrete. I mean, these fools are just tearing each other up. Nakamura found a way to get the doggone miss and spit it in Seth's face. I mean, listen. Seth got his behind kicked. Now, before the match even started, Seth Rollins came out there looking like a complete clown. I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the major reasons why I can't take this fool serious at all. I can't take this circus clown with these clown outfits he be coming out there wearing, with this goofy clown laughing that he be doing all day long. I'm like, I can't take this fool's title run serious anymore. I am ready for him to drop it. Listen, this is no knock against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is right now one of the best wrestlers in the game. However, I can't take him serious no more with this title. I am over this championship run. I've been ready for him to lose that title, and they said no. And you had Michael Cole out there said, Steph, stay down, stay down. Nope. Found a way to retain, found a way to beat Nakamura. And now you have to ask yourself, this has been the best Nakamura has looked his entire main roster run, and you continue to make him look like a joke afterwards. Where the heck does he go after this? Nowhere. Nothing's going to make sense for Nakamura moving forward in this company. Absolutely nothing. So what? People will say, oh, you want me to go to AEW? No, I don't. Because first of all, this fool said that once this run was done, he was going to call it a career. So I absolutely have no idea what they're going to do with Nakamura moving forward. But Seth Rollins found a way to get out of Indiana with this doggone championship. He retains. I knew somebody's title was changing hands. I knew it. But I personally think the wrong persons, because two people, they lost their tag team titles. Nakamura should have walked out with that championship. That's the bottom line. Should have walked out, but they said nope. And then, like I said, you had Jade Cargill running around here with Triple H. Triple H over here acting like he give a crap about black folk. I'm like, over here, look, oh man, Jade out here half naked, ain't got no clothes on. And Triple H over here looking at her like, oh, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, so this is how we're going to do. We're going to make it look good for a little bit, but at WrestleMania, we're going to make you lose the Charlotte. That's just how business is over here. You know how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that ain't got nothing else to say about WWE right now. I thought Fastlane was one of the biggest. Listen, normally I can say half the show was a good show and the rest of the show is just a joke. Majority of this show was a waste of space. It was a waste of time, space, and matter. I'm serious. People could be mad at me in the comment sections. You could be mad at me on Twitter. You could be mad at me in social media all over the place. But I'm telling you the bold-faced truth. Fastlane was Trashlane. It was complete trash. The audience, great. The crowd, great. Seeing Pat McAfee in the house, great. Outside of that, skippable show. The entire show, skippable. And last I checked, they said that both Cody and Jay was drunk as a skunk at the doggone press conference. Drunk as a freaking skunk. They said that's probably the best part of the whole show. Let that sink in. But anyway, now let's go ahead and talk about AEW right quick. Let's go ahead, because I'm not going to be on here that long. I got to get up in the morning for church. So let me see. Let me find the AEW live recap. Where's the Collision? Hold on. Give me a second. Yo, here it is. Okay, Collision live. So now let's talk about it. Hold on. Loading up. Right off the jump, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we was out. I told you I was out celebrating with my family. I checked Twitter. I don't know why I checked Twitter. I checked Twitter, and everybody online was saying, ain't nowhere in the world this happened. Ladies and gentlemen, the reign of FTR as AEW Tag Team Champions have come to a close. I said, whoa. Ricky Starks and Big Bill are your new AEW World Tag Team Champs. Now, you had to ask yourself, this happened before Fastlane. Was Triple H watching and said, they're trying to steal our thunder. We are going to make sure that they don't steal our thunder later on. We're going to make sure that Jay and Cody win the tag team titles. I guarantee you. Now, word right now is obviously this man right now, because they said both of them is banged up. But I also got to remember, he got his court case situation going on. So he probably, who knows? I don't know what he got to deal with, but they going to be off TV for a minute. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got to say, I'm grateful that we are not getting FTR versus the Young Bucks Part 4. I'm so grateful. I am grateful, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to be honest with you, man, I've seen enough. I saw Part 1, I seen Part 2, and we just recently seen Part 3 at All In. I didn't need to see Part 4 in no freaking Full Gear. We are getting ready to get the Young Bucks versus Ricky and Big Bill. Now, ladies and gentlemen, This might be a pretty good fun match and a pretty good fun build, but that's up to Tony Khan and company. That's all I'm gonna say. But salute to Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Now I seen a whole lot of fools online crying about them quote unquote getting squashed. They didn't get squashed. They did not get squashed, ladies and gentlemen. A squash is a match where it takes place. You do a move on somebody, the match is done like what, 2 minutes. They was out there for about a good 10 to 12 minutes. Had at least 2 commercial breaks. So I don't want to hear that foolishness. You listen, we already know exactly why. I ain't got to say why idiots online are upset, but you know exactly why. But I'm happy for the both of them. Ricky finally getting his. Big Bill finally. And ladies and gentlemen, I've never known this. I've always thought that even in NXT, him and Enzo and Amore did at least win the NXT Tag Team Championships. They did not. Big Bill I've never known this. He's never won any gold in any of the wrestling corporation he's wrestled in. That is crazy. So salute to these two for finally getting theirs. And a lot of people are already saying, well, you know why he did this. Tony Khan, speaking of Tony Khan, because everybody said that once his contract is up, he get ready to kick the door and go join Jade over in WWE land. Hey, TK said not so fast right now, but I thought this was a solid opener right off the jump, because Lord knows I did not see this at all. I had these two clowns retaining their titles. They said, no, we got to give it to these two clowns over here, So anyway, like I said, that's that. That's the first matchup. Then we get this. Now, let me tell y'all something. Kyle Fletcher is one of those cats who I've always said is a decent wrestler, but I personally feel that he shines better in tag teams. Man, him and Brian gave us a undercard match that I want to say is a underrated match. I thought it was a pretty solid matchup. It was hard hitting like a mug. Brian and Kyle Fletcher were beating the brakes off each other. I mean, they was tearing each other up from limb. And obviously, Kyle Fletcher is on a singles run because Mark is out. His tag team partner from Aussie Open, Mark Davis, he has a messed up wrist right now, so he's going to be out for a little bit. But these two, they killed it. And obviously, Brian had to get the victory because you know why. Because him and Swerve get ready to tear the house down on Tuesday Night Dynamite. Now, obviously, Swerve is losing. That's like I said, I hate this because you put two cats against one another who have absolutely no business losing. So, but again, TK, this is what he wants. I personally don't know exactly how this is going to make Swerve look good in the end. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how they make it. Anyway, after Brian lost, Prince Nana and the Gates of Agony pretty much came out there and they beat the brakes off of Brian. But then the BCC came out of nowhere and they pretty much ran them off. So pretty much where Brian and the BCC, that's Claudio and Willa Yuta, were standing tall. So obviously, this is pretty much the story going into Dynamite because Swerve and Brian are getting ready to beat the brakes off each other. Then we get the promo. Tony Schiavone interviews Big Bill and Ricky Starks, and they talk about this day time. This is their division now. They are the tag team champions, and they ain't losing these titles to nobody. If anybody want a shot at these championships, they're going to have to go through them because the FTW show is out, and it's the Big Bill and Ricky Starks show. They in now. Top guys out, they in. I like right to the point. They said what they had to say. I thought it was a pretty good promo. Then we get this matchup. We got Juice and the Guns, and they went against Matalik, Gravity, and Angelico. This is a solid trios match. Watching this matchup, they had Jay White out there. His boys was handling their business. This is why I need Juice Robinson and the Guns to win the trios titles. I need them to win trios titles because as much as I respect the mess out the Acclaim ain't really doing nothing with the titles. All they doing is just selling replicas. For some reason, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what it is, especially in AEW land. It seems that when the villains get the titles, it makes television that much more better because the babyface can chase. I need Juice Robinson and the Guns to get it because obviously since Juice and Jay wasn't winning the tag team titles, now you got Jay running around here with Triple B, and I ain't gonna lie, Jay does actually look pretty solid with that championship around his waist. I say, you know what? He got some gold, quote unquote. Why don't his boys go ahead and win the trios titles? I'm saying, God, I would set that match up. Now, if you're not gonna do it at Full Gear, I would probably set this up, maybe if not on the Dynamite, I'll set it up on the Collision. It'll be the main event of a Collision, maybe in a week or two. And then if you want to have the rematch at Full Gear, and this is where we officially end Billy Gunn and the Acclaim. Now, right now, they need to be the backup for you know who, because MJF has no backup. After the match, Jay White got on there. He talked about MJF being out, and he said he's somewhere licking his wounds, and he probably somewhere licking Adam Cole's wounds or something like that. He said, I told you, AEW needs a champion who is elite, and you sure not it. And I'm like, he got some gold, quote unquote. His boys need some gold. I'm like, the story sets up itself. MJF has absolutely no backup right now. He has no backup. He has a quote unquote fake restraining order against Platinum Max in him. I'm like, there's your backup. I know you can't stand this fool because he be over here clowning, acting like he's gay. Listen, you need some freaking backup, son. Go get it. You got the man sitting right there. You got him and his crew sitting right there. The story sets itself. If Jay White is going at the MJF at Full Gear, why don't the Guns go after the Trios titles? It just makes perfect sense. But he mentioned Hangman, and he said, well, since I'm the quote-unquote fake champion right now, Hangman is going against me at Title Tuesday. This won't be for the title. This is what you call it, the Elimination Chamber, where an eliminator match or whatever. I hate that term. To me, that term is lame as heck. I don't know why Tony Khan came up with that bull jive, but that's what he said. That's exactly what Jay White said. And so he said Hangman ain't on his level, and he going to beat the brakes off him on Tuesday night. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I feel bad for Jay White because Jay White is going to take an L, and he's going to take an L probably because of MJF. It's probably going to be MJF is going to come out of nowhere, and he going to end up messing that man up, and Hangman going to end up beating him. I'm like, you want Jay White looking strong going into Full Gear. Now, I know we like several weeks away, but I don't want the cat who's the number one contender for the AEW World Championship looking like a joke going into Full Gear. But this is AEW we're talking about. So, but that's that. Like I said, decent promo. Like I said, I need Juice Robinson and the Guns to go after them trios titles. I need it. I need it more than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, I need it. I need it, and it sets up the story of the end of Billy Gunn. Will he officially retire? I don't know, but the emotions are going to be there because the Sons are taking his titles, and they're going to quote-unquote end his career as a pro wrestler. The story sets itself up, ladies and gentlemen. It sets itself up. So then we get Nick Wayne, quote-unquote, explaining himself why he turned on Darby. He said Darby was his hero when he was a young man. He was about 8 years old. And then Darby left him. For 15 years, Darby disappeared. And he's like, you know what? How the heck am I supposed to trust this cat? Then this cat just pops up out of nowhere. But then he said, I aligned myself with a father that I've never known I need. That's Christian. Christian was caught up with some fool named Adam Copeland. And just like I, needed a real father, he became the guy. Now, a lot of people was complaining, saying, how come Nick Wayne didn't really mention the fact about Darby, quote-unquote, forgiving A.R. Fox so fast? Because they did play the video package, and they showed A.R. Fox in the videotape. And I'm saying, you know what? You could have used that. Here's the deal. I didn't actually mind everything he said because he put some real stuff into it. He talked about how that man was with me, but then he disappeared. And I didn't have nobody to back me up. Now, I got this fool who used to be cool with this cat named Adam. This dude is more of a father figure, and I'm going to bring him in and be under his wing because he seems to give me more evidence and more wisdom, more so than what you was able to do. You know what I'm saying? So then we get the House of Booty, because that's what they call Daddy A and the Acclaim. They went against Iron Savage, just called themselves trying to do something. They tried to do a little rap. It was terrible. It is what it is. I mean, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, see, the random matches on AEW program is what I don't really like. I don't really like random matches. I would prefer matches being created because of some type of storyline or something. And I get it. You're trying to showcase who these new cats are. I understand Iron Savage has been on the show. This cat named Jack Jameson. But like I say, man, if we don't really know who these fools are, why are you showcasing them? I understand cats could be somewhat decent in the ring, but I'm like, I need to understand, why are these fools getting the trios titles back? Why? For what? Please make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense. That's all I ask. Just make it make sense. But they beat the brakes off of them, and I'm like, it is what it is. I kind of wish they would have tied together MJF situation. I think they could have used this right here to say, hey, we see MJF has no backup right now. How about we get down with MJF or something? Something that's gonna lead into them eventually getting together, because they have finally put the foolish crap that be going on social media. That finally came to TV when he was giving them a massage last week on Dynamite. You understand what I'm saying? But it is what it is. They won. So then we get Timeless Tony. She went against Kiera Hogan. This was a somewhat decent match. Like I said, Tony's character is what's carrying everything about her. I mean, obviously, she's great in the ring. But this Marilyn Monroe / Kelly Clofield gimmick that she run around with, it's running rampant around the women's division and all the AEW. Like, she one of the best. She one of the highlights in the women's division. Kiera Hogan was just another victim, just like Sky Blue was. But like I said, it is what it is. So then we get Renee Paquette talking to Ruby Soho about her potentially being the one to go against Saraya, but she was quote-unquote screwed by Sheeta. She said, it's all good. I'm going to be in my friend's corner this coming Wednesday night. And then Renee said, oh, slow your roll, baby girl. I just been informed you are banned from ringside. Don't know what the heck that means, but it's going to play into what's transpired. Now, I got her retaining. She's not losing. Because there's a lot of speculation that due to Jade jumping ship and going over to AEW, Tony Khan officially is going to quote-unquote try to get who to come through. Mercedes. Mercedes just took her walking boot out. So, hey, it is what it is on that. But, hey, I didn't have a problem with that. Decent. Main event, Eddie Kingston versus Commander. Commander beat the brakes off of the other three clowns at Rampage the other night, so obviously got an opportunity to go against Eddie Kingston. This is the hard-hitting match. Commander was basically getting murdered by Eddie Kingston. He was trying to do a couple of little move sets out here, doing a little something, but Eddie Kingston wasn't going, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Kingston pretty much beat the snot out of this cat. He tore him up. Commander really didn't do anything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be 100% with you. AEW got like 20 luchadors, I feel like, and I feel like none of them stand out. I think the only two that somewhat stand out are the Lucha Bros. They are the only two. The rest of them, I feel like they're the same generic Lucha Bro. I'm like, bro, I need something to gravitate towards with these characters. Like, all they are, I feel like it's the same cat. I feel like they'll want to be Rey Mysterio. I'm like, this is no disrespect to them, because I personally think when these fools was on Lucha Underground, they all stood out. The cats who was running Lucha Underground made each luchador stand out. They come over to AEW and Tony Khan really don't know what the clown he doing. And I feel like, man, we got all these cool luchadors that have excellent high flying moves, and they can do all these spots and all this crazy stuff, but they don't stand out. The wrestling is not what gets me behind a wrestler. It's not. It's the character development. Are you good? Now, obviously, I understand a lot of these cats really don't speak that good of English. I understand that. But you got to do something that's going to make me gravitate towards why I should care about you. Commander's a solid wrestler. He's very good, but I feel like I'm looking at the same generic luchador just like the rest of these cats. And this is no disrespect to none of them, because I personally think all of them are good. Every single one of them. They are good wrestlers in their own merit, but I'm like, bro, they need to feel like they stand out. And like I said, when you just win random matches on Rampage and you get title shots out of nowhere, Eddie Kingston just beat the snot out. He won. He got the job done. Congrats to Eddie Kingston. We move on. So then we get to Adam Copeland addressing the fans out there in Utah. He first congratulated Jim Ross, and he said he's forever indebted to Jim Ross because he was the first one to give him his first wrestling contract, paid off his college debts and everything. I said, man, salute to JR for that. Salute to JR. So he said everybody's like, everything seemed to be real great. I came down on Dynamite. I thought things were going to go well, and things did not go well. I confronted the man. I thought we were going to be on one accord, and that man just went somewhere else. And let me tell you something. He's always been that way. I've been best friends with that man for 40 years, and he's always been a dick. Now, it's funny how TNT, they can say dick. You can't say it on TBS. Fine, and it's under the same umbrella as Turner. It's Turner Broadcasting, but for some reason you can't say dick on TBS, but you can say it on TNT. So, he talked about how he has two lackeys now. He has Luchasaurus And he has Nick Wayne. He said Nick Wayne looked like one of them cats that you be sitting in, bald-headed cats that you be sitting up there petting like a Persian cat. Edge got a doggone Persian cat chant off. Adam Copeland got a Persian chant. That's what they was chanting, right? So he said, I need that man to come out right now. Christian popped up on the screen, and he told that man, look, he said, I don't know what the clown you doing here. I don't know what the heck you expected. But I'm telling you right now, you think the answer that you're going to get, you ain't getting it tonight. But you will get it if you decide to pull up on Dynamite. That's if you can make it. Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne came down to the ring, and they quote-unquote double team. Edge tried to do a little something, but it wasn't enough. They double teamed him. Darby Allin came out with his arm wrapped up in something, so definitely his arm is messed up. He came down there, called himself trying to do a little something, and Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne not only beat the brakes off of Edge, they beat the snot out of Darby, and Nick Wayne messed up Darby Allin's arm. And I was like, ladies and gentlemen, a small cliffhanger, but it's a cliffhanger. Cats have been asking for AEW to give us cliffhangers. I don't want this feel-good. Listen, you can do a feel-good episode every now and then. Wrestling is always about the freaking pay-per-view. It's about the freaking to be continued. The to be continued is what wrestling television is all about. That's all I be looking for. When I watch a wrestling show, I'm like, all right, I see a couple of good wrestling matches, but I'm looking for story development. I'm looking for character development, and I'm looking for to be continued. I need it to be continued. To be continued is the number one thing concerning wrestling. It's the number one thing. You can do the to be continued at pay-per-views. You can do it on television. That's what keeps wrestling TV going. It's the storylines. It is the characters. It's boom. It's how am I getting engulfed in what you're trying to sell to me? And people keep going back and forth about the doggone ticket sales and all this crap. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, ticket sales come when you have compelling storylines and larger than life characters. You can have all the crazy wrestling in the world. Larger than life characters and storylines are the 1 and 2 combos that make your program must see TV. Now, salute to Edge on YouTube doing 5 million views. But, hey, AEW TV needs that drastically. Now, with them getting ready to go head-to-head with WrestleMania NXT, listen, just continue to do what they do. But at the end of the day, we need to come back. We need to be ready. That's the whole point. That's the point of having it to be continued. It's okay, I can't wait to Wednesday night. Okay, I can't wait to Saturday night. Listen, Collision bounced back. It was a decent episode. Like I said, the last several episodes of Collision have been missable. They have been very missable. I ain't really been caring nothing about no freaking Collision. As you can see, I'm just getting back doing a full review for Collision. Normally, I just skip it because it's not even worth talking about. But I would say it was a decent showing tonight. Like I said, overall, we got somewhat decent wrestling between both products. Like I said, man, Trashlane was Trashlane. But it is what it is on that. I ain't got nothing else to say, ladies and gentlemen. I gave you my honest score for Payback. Honest score for Fastlane is a 4 out of 10. That's it. 4 out of 10. You hit the freaking comment section up and you tell me what you thought. You might be in 100% agreement with me. You might have thought Fastlane was one of the best shows on the planet. You might have thought Collision sucked. Oh well, you hit that freaking comment section up and you tell me exactly why you feel that way. If you're new to the channel, you know exactly what to do. Hit that subscribe button and also make sure you hit that like button. We growing over here. We getting the channel bigger and better than ever. And ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'll talk to y'all cats later. Holla at your boy.